Alright, we have Rusty here, Dia1 Akuma. Let's see how it goes. Remember, these matches are not about you beating me or me beating you. Just try to do your best and just have fun, right? This is not an exam or anything. So just relax, play, show me your best. Alright?
All good.
Akuma Marisa is not the best matchup for me, so wow, okay. I don't know why my quadriga didn't come out.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Marisa.
Yeah, you got around. Off the start.
oh, nice whiff.
Round two. Fight.
Ah,
Marisa wins. Round one.
I always forget about the armor.
Yeah, it's the Marisa specialty. Make people forget about the armor. Alright.
Ooh. Ooh. Is that command grab?
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
Fuck. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered there because I would have taken
Mm-hmm.
the damage anyway, right? Yeah, that's checkmate.
You should have. No, it's not checkmate. You could have just parried.
Ah, yeah, of course.
But you know, to change the mentality from the usual thing of throwing back to the eye to say I just need to parry, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can do anything with my Akuma. It's not so great. I haven't been playing Akuma. Again, this is just assessment match. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's a new challenger.
Have you always played Marisa?
Yeah, she's my main.
Nice.
Ready. Round one. Fight.
Nice.
What? Come on!
No way! That is pure accident.
I had no idea that was possible.
Ooh, okay.
Akuma, win! Round one. Fight.
Wow. Oh, I'm so bad at it. I forgot how to play this character. Nice, it's coming back, it's coming back.
No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to drive rush.
Akuma. Round one. Fight.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh wow.
Huh? Oh, didn't mean to.
Ooh.
Ah, missed it.
Right.
Akuma, win!
Alright, let's go into the training area and see what we can talk about my findings.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was a training area in this room. What?
You have to set it up.
Ah.
A new challenger.
Alright, first turn on your input history display for both players and then the frame meter on as well. Alright, so I want to know your perspective. What made you come into class? What do you think you need help with overall? What is your perspective from your own gameplay? What do you think you need?
I feel like I personally really struggle with playing like neutral, as well as playing off the wall, like in the corner.
You being in the corner or the opponent being in
Me.
the corner? Alright, yeah.
Well, both really. I feel like I give up pressure a lot as well. So, I mean, I've done like 120 or 30 ranked games or something. I can't remember, maybe a bit more. And I'm still progressing with like a good win rate, but I see myself losing to like really dumb shit like this.
Yeah. I noticed that anti-airing is not your strength, right?
Yeah.
You never did, like, you did probably like one Shoryuken, and I was constantly just jumping because I'm not worried, because you're not showing me that you can do Shoryuken, right? And the same can be said the opposite way. You were never jumping for whatever reason. I mean, it's good and bad at the same time, because you don't really know if I'm capable of, doing anti-air properly. So you have to inspect these areas of an opponent first, right? You have to test these things. There was no way for me to know if you were capable of Shoryuken without me just jumping in, right? There's a place and a time for jump-ins, right? So that's one of the things that I noticed, is that you never ever jumped in. It was only because you were doing this, and I perfect parried a couple of them. That was, that's just instinct, right? That it's coming and you just press it, right? So it's not really something that you react to just like that. The other thing is, you give up a ton of space, right? You were in the corner almost 75 to 80% of our matches. You were in the corner because you don't know how to get out of there, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you know how to play in the corner, being patient and trying to hold on to your opponent's defense, but you need to get out of there. It's very, very important that you get out of there and get control of the neutral space here, right?
Yeah.
You need to know where you are at the screen and what are the things that you're doing in this in that space, so that you don't lose control of the space, right? So I guess that comes with playing neutral, right? Another thing that I noticed is that you're trying to play neutral, but your neutral is pretty much just doing this and this. If nothing is happening, then you just rely to doing folds, right? And again, every tool that you have, that your character knows and that you know about your character, it's for a situation or for a specific reason that you have to use. You have to think about why you are doing the thing that you're doing, right? So if we are here playing neutral and I just throw something like this, it has to have a meaning behind it, right? It has to be like, I want to keep you outside. You're trying to, you're trying too much to get close to me, so I'm just gonna push you away, because you can do anything from this kick. There's nothing you can do. It's not cancelable. So throwing this out, it has to be You know, you cannot be doing this a lot unless you're like super close and not even, right? It doesn't combo into
There's
it,
nothing, yeah.
right? So unless you get a punish counter, which is like +8, and then you can probably do this, but it's, I mean, it's not the best thing, right? It's good for, you know, for keeping your opponent away and getting more space for yourself, but you know, doing this over and over is not gonna lead you to where you really want to go, right? This is how much better. This is a lot better, right? You can do stuff after this. So yeah, but basically, you know, in neutral, I'm noticing, well, the same thing that almost every player does in neutral that don't really know, is that you're always thinking about what your character can do, right? So one question that I do to my students is, why do you do this, right? This stance over here, what are you looking for? What are you doing when you do this?
I'm trying to whiff punish, but I'm just so bad with my reaction timings or understanding which buttons to whiff punish. So like normally,
why do you think you need to whiff punish?
So that I can get like a Oki situation or like a follow up into a knockdown.
No, but I mean, why do you think it's important for you to whiff punish, right? Why? I mean, of course, you can get damage, you can get combo, but why is that you're so focused? Like, I want to whiff punish.
I don't really know how to apply pressure in neutral, so I kind of rely on trying to whiff punish to get damage and pressure off.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I asked about the whiff punish part because a lot of players at Diamond 1, 2, 3 and Platinum, they tend to answer about this, you know, the whiff punish concept, right? I throw this, and then yeah, what do? Are you really prepared? If we make an exercise, right? I'm gonna make a, okay. Let's go to a little bit about the exercise part, right? We're gonna be in neutral right here, and I'm gonna do two things, only two things, right? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try and whiff. No, I'm gonna whiff this, right? I'm gonna try and whiff this. I'm gonna purposely whiff this, or I'm gonna jump at you, right?
Yeah.
And then you either anti-air with that or with a Shoryuken. Preferably try to do a Shoryuken as much as possible, or whiff punish. All right? You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
That wasn't a whiff punish.
Yeah, you're getting too close for that. Yeah. That wasn't whiff punish either. Oh, whoops. All right. So, to prove my point here, right? It's too difficult to just wait and whiff punish, right? So, whiff punishing is not just reacting to something and I saw it and I pressed the button, right? It doesn't fully goes to that. That's the mechanical part. That's the mechanical aspect of it. Like, you see a button, the button is whiffed, you press your button and you get a punish counter, right? That's whiff punishing. All good and dandy. But if we are just here and I'm pressing buttons like this, like super fast, super quick, like how exactly are you going to whiff punish that, right? You don't have information to actually be able to perform that, right?
Yeah.
So I like to tell people that whiff punishing is a two-part thing, right? There's the mechanical aspect that we just discussed, and then there's another aspect, which is, you know, the psychological part, right? So if we are at this range, right? Do you really believe? I'm 40 years old, dude. Do you really believe that my whiff punishing with Marisa was because I saw the thing and I just happened to press the button at that time? No, that's not what it is. So when I play neutrals against you, so I get into this range, right? In this range, at this range, just right here, there's a couple things. Well, Akuma has a ridiculous range, right? He can reach you with this. He can reach you with this. He can reach you with a lot of things, right? So with Marisa, I tend to stay like around this area right here, right? Your forward heavy punch is gonna whiff. Your forward medium kick is gonna whiff, right? So if I see that whenever I go into the range of your button, you start pressing them, I kind of get the idea of that pattern that you're showing me, right? So this is why we do the back and forth part, right? You want to gather information about what your opponent wants to do, right?
Okay.
So when I'm doing this and I see you pressing this, and especially when you're whiffing it, it's like, well, yeah, when I do this in and out, he presses that button. So I get kind of ready to just press my button, not as much as reaction, but more it's a window between a read and a reaction, right?
Sure.
Another thing is that when we are blocking here, for example, if we are blocking here and I do this into this, right, your crouching medium kick at this range is gonna whiff, right? So if I do this into this and you throw that, right, it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to try and punish you, because I create this situation in which I create this space for you to fall into, right?
I see.
And that's how you actually, you make this psychological approach of whiff punching, right? But if I do this, right, block. If I do this, I'm still in the range of your crouching medium kick, right? I could do something like this into this again, right? And that can happen if you're not really fast enough, because this is a minus 1,000. This is what, -6 or something.
I'll do it again. Sorry.
This is -6, right? So you cannot allow me to be doing stuff like this, right? If you block, you cannot allow me to do this 2 times, right? Because you get a counter hit. So you're kind of expecting something in return after you block it, right? See, and that's how you get whiff punishes, right? That's the thing. When you start attacking your opponent and they are blocking, right? They're trying, most of them, and I'm guessing including yourself, they're trying to get their turn, right? It's like, he attacked me, and this is a -3 button, so it's my turn, right? So you try to put out a button, you try to reach me, and then if it doesn't reach and it whiffs, then you get a whiff punish like that, right?
Gotcha. Okay, that's a much better way of looking at it in terms of like using spacing as well. That's actually really, I didn't think of that.
So you definitely,
I kind of just thought like here, like I'll just sit here, and if he throws a heavy button, I'll then do that, like do into a drive rush. But really, I should be kind of getting into range of my buttons as opposed to looking for whiffs.
See what just happened? Did you see what just happened? That's exactly what you're looking for, right? You're trying to create situations in which your opponent makes a mistake. And Akuma is really, really good at it, because his buttons, like this button right here, block.
Sorry, go on.
If this button right here is +1, right? So, and it's 6 frames. So the only thing that can stop this is maybe a jab, right? So, but if I do this at this range, that happens, right? Those things can happen, right? But I mean, this button is very, very stubby, but it's really good, right? But yeah, as you can see, it's like creating situation of pressure where your opponent wants to, I need to get out of here, right? I want to get out of here, and they start pressing these buttons, and then you get whiff punish out of that, right? But again, if you're constantly thinking what button you should be pressing, then these situations will elude you, right? They will escape. And you will not be able to pay attention to them, because you're always paying attention of what your character, what's the range of my button. I can hit this button and I can hit this button. You're not really looking at your opponent's character, because you're always looking at the range for you to do this, into this, and then this, creating this pressure, which is also fine. But you need to keep switching things, right? Especially when you don't have enough bars. So if you block, if I do this into this, right, and then I get nothing, right? I just wasted 3 bars here for nothing. I mean, in this situation I put you in the corner, but if we are right here in neutral and I do just this into this, I wasted 3 bars, and then yeah, what am I gonna do, right? You should be a little bit more patient and be checking your resources to see what you can do, right?
Yeah.
And see how your opponent reacts to certain things, right? Since you have a fireball character, let me know if I'm going too quickly about stuff, right?
No, it's fine.
All right. So since you have a fireball character, throwing fireballs. Why do you throw fireballs? Do you want to get do you want to get ahead, or do you do it for? Oh my God! Do you do it for something in particular? Like you just throw a fireball here. If we are just throwing fireballs at each other, right? What are you actually expecting when you do that?
So basically, when I'm doing this in neutral, I'm really just thinking about trying to control the space between me and my opponent, like staying just outside, and really for damage or jump-ins. But I'm never really prepared for the jump-in.
Yeah, that's because your mental stack. The mental stack is like a RAM memory, right?
Yeah.
You have a certain space, and the better you become at the game, the more space you have in your RAM memory. So when I do something like this, I'm trying to condition a person, right? If I do this in your mind, well, at least in my mind, it's like a shadow image of you throwing this, right? It's like right there. So if I jump at you when you do that, right, I'm gonna do a ton of damage, right? So I want to, most people at low ranks, they're like, I want to jump, right? And then you get a full punish, right? But the problem is that I'm just conditioning you. Like, I put this in your mind. Again, the same situation as with punishing. I'm putting this in your mind so you make a mistake of thinking that you can jump at me and that my Hadouken is coming at, right? So you need to rely on reads, right? In order to actually, deal with this, right? You have to preemptively jump, or I can most likely do that, right? So you need to do the heavy version and then into the light version. So if you try to jump, if you try to react to the fact that the fireball is right there, then you're gonna eat a Shoryuken 100%.
Gotcha.
Right?
I pretty much always do the heavy as well. That's probably something that I'm not really.
Yeah, if you do the slow one and people try to jump over it, then you have a lot of time to just do Shoryuken, right?
Yeah, and I should be inputting it, shouldn't I? As soon as the fireball goes, like.
No, you just wait for the thing. No, you just wait for the jump. It's like, you have to handle your mental stack in different ways, right? One is the offensive aspect, and the other is the defensive aspect. So if I do this at you, and you block once, and then I do this at you, I'm trying to condition you to this. Then I'm just hoping that you jump or or make a mistake about that, right? So I'm kind of waiting for you to make that mistake. So yeah, you kind of visualize the fact, right? Especially because you don't want to be throwing Hadoukens at this range, right? You want to throw Hadoukens at this range, right? And speaking about mental stack and what people can do, let's not think this is Akuma, because Akuma can do this thing, Akuma can do this thing, so he's kind of set apart. But at this range, like, most of my normals are gonna whiff, right? There's nothing in here. So if we're on a fireball ward right here, the only thing that you should be worried about, it's me jumping in at you, right?
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
of course.
I cannot do anything here other than, well, maybe do this, and then you can just parry this, right? If you see it, then you just parry it, and there's really nothing much going on with the fireball, right? The fireball is just there to actually annoy, and if I see you pressing a lot of buttons, then I will just try and stop you with this, and I'll get some damage, but that's not the huge part of my damage. Is not gonna come from there. So if you're at that range, you should be worried about this, and maybe about this too, right? But mostly any attack from the air, right? I can do stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And you can still Shoryuken that, right? If you delay it a little bit, then the fireball disappears. But yeah, there are ranges in where you have to fixate on something, right? You have
Gotcha.
yeah, at this range, you definitely, if you want to, fixate on it, you have to fixate on anti-airs because, people will jump at you, right?
Yeah.
And another thing is, your fireball cannot be, you have to throw them outside of a pattern, right? So if you do like 1, 2 all the time, you constantly do 2 of these, then people will react to the fact that you're throwing 2 of them, right? So it's like you throw 1, you wait, you throw another one, and then you can throw 2. Then maybe if you do this one, you charge it a little bit, then it's a lot easier to punish from the air. If you try to jump at this when you see it, again when you see it, but that was a read.
Yeah.
You will definitely be able to anti-air this with ease.
I see.
Very easy. There's no way people can jump at you. I get so frustrated. Yeah, I read that. Yeah, that one as well.
Oh.
Right, so if I see you charging the fireball, and then I jump after I see the fireball coming at me, then you can.
I can definitely do it. Yeah, I'm just rushing it.
There you go. Right. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, when fighting characters with fireballs, especially fighting Gal, you have to parry, be calm, be collected, and instead of just jumping because they are used to the fact that they throw the thing and they have to hold the charge and wait, and just,
then they just do it.
Here, right?
I do find I struggle with that matchup as well. Like Guile, I just find that I can't open him up, and I just end up jumping and getting anti-aired constantly.
Yeah, you get conditioned to jump. That's the thing, right? So that feeling that you have with fighting Guile is a feeling that you put into opponents that don't have fireballs, that don't fireball wars with you, right? Like Jamie or Marisa. They have to do something about that, right?
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No, that makes perfect sense. I think, like you said, from like here, I need to be preparing for it so that I know exactly when people are going to kind of, not exactly, but I can somewhat predict when people are going to jump in.
There you go. Yeah, and that will improve your anti-air game 1,000%. When you do that, and then you're just waiting for them to jump because at lower ranks, people go bananas and they throw things, right? So
yeah,
if you're just waiting for them to jump, you're gonna do a lot of damage overall in time, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I want to see execution, right? What's your controller type, by the way?
I use a hitbox at the moment.
Okay, great. Throw a couple Hadoukens. All right. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, great. Now do a Shoryuken. Alright, so as you can see, I don't know if you know what it is, but they are kind of I tried to do it as perfect as possible, like go as low as possible and as perfect as possible. What motion are you using to do the Shoryuken, by the way? Are you using any shortcut or anything?
No, I'm using 2-3. What was it? Forward, down, and then I hold down, then press forward again.
Forward, down. Oh, so you're doing the reverse Shoryuken motion, right? Because honestly, when I teach people sometimes, the basics, when I see the messy inputs, I just tell them that it's just a Hadouken, but pressing forward first, right? But if you do it like this, as you can see, it's just forward and Hadouken. That's just it, right?
Yeah, it's this. The right side I'm much better on.
Yeah, of course, because your ring finger is not involved. I know.
Yeah, it's so horrible doing this. I find it so awkward.
But still, look at. Do you have my inputs on, right?
Yeah.
So there are two things that you can do. You either do this, right? Forward, down, forward, right?
Yeah.
Forward Hadouken, or you do forward, down, forward, right? But the thing is, you have to, when you're in training, you have to perfect your inputs, right? You have to try and make your inputs better. And one of the things that I teach people is when they are in training, try to do your motion, finish your motion, and then press the button, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, like this. See? I'm just not throwing the show you. I'm just showing the fact, right?
Oh,
So-
I see what you mean. So let go of it afterwards and then press it.
Yeah. Like that, see? This is like perfect inputs, so to say, right? You have a couple inputs, a couple extra inputs that don't belong there. Like right there, it's a little bit messy, right? You're doing down forward and then into forward again, and it's kind of, you know, it comes out. It comes out, of course. Like if you do this, but as you can see, this is just messy, right? Right?
Yeah.
So you want to try as much as possible when you're in training. If you set your mind to, yeah, I'm gonna train my my inputs to train and do something like this, right? Well, not like that, but like that. So you said yourself, I'm gonna do 10 perfect Shoryukens into,
Yeah.
right? Or you can just press forward, down, and up, right? you know the shortcut, right? Forward, down, and up.
Oh, I normally do this one.
What is that one?
That's where you
Forward,
hold down,
forward,
and forward, forward. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one which you press forward, you hold down, and then you hold up, right? And then after holding up,
Oh, okay.
that's like the fastest way to make it, to do a Shoryuken, right? But still, you know, sometimes I normally tell people to learn the proper way, then go into, into shortcuts, if anything. But
That feels kind of weird. I could see myself like being like what is it called? Fucking it up and then just jumping.
oh no, well, it can happen at the beginning when you're learning to use it. It happened to me a lot. But then, you know, when you learn that you just have to hold every button, it's super easy, right? So another thing that you can do is just go into training mode and set, you know, the dummy to entire practice.
Yeah.
Do you use it? Have you ever used
Yes.
it? What do you think?
Yeah, I do,
about
but
it?
I think it's good, but because I know it's coming, I don't. I just stand there and then kind of just chuck it out when I see it or do cross cuts. But in a game, I very rarely will do that.
Yeah. I want you to think about what you just said, right? You just said, because I'm waiting for it, I know it's coming, it's easy for me to do, right?
Yeah.
In a match, right? When you're in a match, you have to set yourself the mind of, like, if I do something like this, just an example. I'm just gonna be here, and at this range, I'm not gonna be certain that you're jumping in, but I'm gonna be aware the fact that there's a high probability for you to jump, right?
Yeah.
So that mentality of the training room of thinking, I'm just gonna wait for the jump, you have to apply it in a match. I'm just gonna wait here for the jump. I'm waiting here for the jump. The only thing that might hit me and make a huge combo is gonna be a jump, so I'm gonna expect it. I'm gonna be here and I'm expecting the jump, right? I'm expecting the jump. And then, of course, in a match, you have to remove that thought for a second, like, okay, so nothing is happening, so I'm gonna do other things, right? Again, if your mental stack it goes better over time, you can just keep that in mind, that, you know, eventually if we are at this range even, you can just jump in, right? If I'm doing stuff like this, see, I'm still prepared for the fact that you might jump in, right?
Yeah.
But that comes with practice, right? But you need to try and mix up, you know, your thought when you're training and when you are in a match. It because it's very relatable, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard people, well, this is too easy, I can do it 100% in training. Yeah, why don't you apply the thought and the mentality into the match? Because that's what you want to do, right?
No, that's very good. I think I go into, especially in ranked, I care more about the win, and as opposed to actually just like focusing on things to improve on. Like I don't go into a game and think, okay, like it's Guile. Last Guile I played, I got jumped in on 80% and didn't anti-air. Like I need to really just focus on that.
Yeah, and especially against Guile, you know, every character has like a game plan that you kind of start understanding the more you see them. It's like, well, this character wants to do this character wants to do that, Akuma wants to do everything because he can do everything. So but overall, right, since he's another Shoto, like, you know, this is a thing, right? This is a very important thing to notice. This is a very important thing to notice. So if we are in this range and you're playing against Akuma and you just crouch and do nothing, then this is, you know, they start nilly-willy throwing this, then definitely. Oh yeah, you suffer from the thing. Another student happened the same thing, right? Why are you pressing light? Like if
panicking, just trying to stop the move.
No, hold on.
It's
Just
more
block.
so.
Just block and
Yeah.
see. No, don't do anything. Right?
Oh, sorry.
This is minus 13. 13. You have 13 frames to think what to do, right? This is 8 frames, right? This is 6 frames. So why are you pressing light? You shouldn't be pressing light. I mean, if you're in the nick of time, maybe once or twice you press light because, oh, I saw it in the last moment that I was able to crouch. That's fine, all right? Don't punish yourself all the time for that. But if we're here in training mode, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna throw a heavy kick, then by all means, do your best punish as possible, right?
Yeah.
There you go. See? Just do that into that, right? Yeah, perfect, amazing, yeah. So if your autopilot goes into pressing light all the time, then you're not gonna make these conversions, and conversions are really important in this game, right? It's definitely not the same, you know, doing this than doing what you just did, right?
Yeah, for sure. I noticed that so much where I see people doing something which I can punish and I think, quick, just get something off, as opposed to thinking, actually, what is optimal? Like, yeah, even if it's just I don't have much drive gauge, or what is it called? Yeah, drive gauge left. At least I can do something like I don't know, like that into Oki.
Yeah, you get a setup, yeah.
This is just feels like a wasted opportunity.
I mean, you get something, right? But it's like, I don't know, it's 10% of what you could have done, because whatever comes after this is gonna be heavily scaled, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this again, and you're gonna do that same thing again, except this time you stop mashing. Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh. Oh, I want a drive rush combo.
You need to start practicing things without mashing. You cannot be relying on mashing. Also,
yeah, for sure.
You're trying to drive rush and you're not using this. Why?
What's that?
You can just tap parry and you can drive rush.
Oh, I thought you had to always do down. That's why I came to hitbox, because I was on my stick and I couldn't keep doing this.
Wow, that's old as time. They changed that like 2 months after the release of the game. They said, well, you can just tap parry after whatever cancelable, and you're gonna get a drive rush.
I literally quit the game when it first came out because of that. I had stick and I was like, no, this is ridiculous. I didn't even know they changed that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's so much easier.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you can still go your way with pressing forward, right? But still, if you do this and then just do forward, it's just the same, right? It's not. Yeah, definitely. When the game came out, the hitbox user were happy that this was a thing.
Yeah.
Right? I was also a stick player, and it was super difficult. And because I stopped playing fighting games, I felt like, oh my god, this is so hard. But yeah, eventually I made it, and then they changed it to just tap parry, right?
That's so much nicer because you can kind of buffer it as well. Like that was like what?
You can also buffer the forward, but the problem is that you're mashing too much, right? If you see me look at my inputs, right? You know, I don't need to time it. It's just, you know, press and forward. It's not too difficult, right?
Yeah.
And you can buffer, but yeah, you know, pressing the parry definitely feels like the buffer is bigger at least, right? All right,
Yeah,
let's try that. Let's try that again. Oh, whoops.
Oh. Oh, no, it's forward, isn't it? So I'm trying to do the parry one, so it's like throwing me off now. Okay. I need to do down.
So the problem is that you're used to the mashing, like the mashing is part of you, right? And you definitely...
It's annoying. I'm trying not to now, but it's hard to do. I'll try and do it now. Oh no, wrong one. Oh. Oh no.
Well, as you can see, you have homework to do, right? It's very, very important.
Yeah, for sure.
That you don't rely on, you know, pressing 1,000 times, crouching, heavy punch, right? The reason I tell people this is I come from Street Fighter 4 and I used to be like super trash at execution, right? I was very, very bad at execution, and my friends made fun of me because I was terrible. And even in this game, there was a guy, a friend of mine, he was like, "Oh, don't worry, we trust that Kusanagi will drop the combo." And I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" So I started practicing my inputs. Like if I want to do this, you know, I don't need to press a bunch of buttons. Like it's just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that's it. You don't need to press it a ton of times. And you know, when you do stuff like this and you start mashing, right? Your mental stack is busy trying to execute what's right in front of you, and you're not evaluating other things in the game, right? You when you get ahead into Drive Rush, you have to think, well, should I do my level 3? Will I burn out my opponent? Will I kill my opponent? Will I be able to do Oki after this? Because it's definitely not the same doing certain things at certain life points, at certain difference of drive gauge, right?
Yeah.
You have to be thinking about these other stuff. So comboing, when you actually get ahead, right, it becomes like another thing that's just happening in the background while you're analyzing the whole situation in the game, right? And in order to be able to do that, you definitely don't want to be mashing. You know, mashing and executing and pressing buttons all the time is definitely consuming a little bit, well, not a little bit more, maybe more of that stack just to perform, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So when you do combos, they have to come second nature, right? You maybe do this and you'll be like, okay, so I want to set up, right? I want the Goki setup. Or you do this and then you'll be like, yeah, I want to do the damage setup, so you go for this, right? Or yeah, I want to do my level 3 now, right? So I could do this and do this, right? But
yeah, that's so much cleaner.
You kind of keep thinking in the moment that you get ahead, what do you want to do instead of, you know, just mashing the button and not getting the things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You definitely want to come into the lab and, you know, be calm and collected about the combos, because Street Fighter 6 is definitely not a hard game when it comes to combos, right? You can just, you know, press, right, and it'll just come out, right? Things are not difficult in the game, but you need to know how difficult it really is, right? So for example, if you do this into this, right, you instead, if you do this, you know, it'll hit, right? But you don't get to know the timing, the feeling when it's supposed to be happening, right? Oh, look at that Shoryuken, that's beautiful, right? But yeah, that's something that you need to put a little bit of work into the lab.
Oh, 100%. I'm gonna do. That's literally what I'll do. for this week, I'm gonna just put hours in and just do clean inputs because that
Mm.
is. I've noticed that even my girlfriend came in the other day and was like, "Why are you hitting that so loud? You just bought it." And I'm there like just like hitting the button so hard.
Yeah. What hitbox do you have? What?
I got a Razor Kitsune,
Kitsune.
something.
Kitsune.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 300 euros right there. So treat it with care and love, right?
For sure.
So and I mean, it's not even that loud compared to a regular carry stick, right? So imagine. Imagine.
That's what I
you're
mean.
doing.
This is so much. Like I've got a Quamba drone arcade stick, and that is loud. But
Right.
this hitbox is so much nicer to play on.
Yeah, I have a How to 42, and you know.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's when you get to micro switches instead of regular arcade buttons, it's very very different.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions that you might have so far?
No, I think the only thing I was going to, but I don't know if you'll get onto that later, is one thing that I struggle with as well is people. I know it's like a anti-airing, but you know when you're in the corner and
Corner.
and people will do just like this, or they'll jump over you, but not really. And I'll normally like try and go for like a DP, and they just jump over you. Am I supposed to just like do this or walk out? Like it just feels kind of awkward.
Do you want in offense or defense? What do you want to go
In
over?
defense, yeah, mainly defense for me in the corner.
So if you are in the corner right now,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I'm in the corner.
So there's this is a rock paper scissors the situation right here. There's absolutely nothing proper that I can tell you in the corner other than you need to be patient in the corner, right?
Yeah.
You need to keep collected and don't go for crazy stuff in the corner, right? And another thing is that anytime you're thinking about teching, it's best to just try and backdash, right? It's much better to try and backdash. So if I do this, see?
Ah, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
I thought you had to always tech.
No. So if you just tech, just tech, okay? Just wake up and tech. So this situation doesn't give you anything at all. You're still in the corner. I'm still protecting the corner. You cannot get out of the corner. There's times that you can do that. There's times that you can just tech and it's okay. But on wake up, if you're set to I'm gonna have to tag, just backdash, right? Because
Yeah,
if
sure.
If I do stuff like this, right, and you backdash properly, see, you get a punish counter there. But if you backdash, then definitely you'll have more time to react. See, you can block even. Because shimmying,
okay.
yeah, if I shimmy you like this, then that's a bad shimmy. Normally you wait for your opponent to wake up and then you just jump, right?
Yeah.
And after you backdash this, then you can definitely do Akuma can do crouching medium punch, I guess, right? Yeah, see, you get a punish counter there, right?
Okay, that's so much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not bulletproof. Like if you try and do that,
Yeah.
that will happen, right? Another thing is the new drive reversal stuff, right? You know how to do the drive reversal.
Yeah, it's the DI forward on wake up, isn't it?
Yeah, but just hold it. Just hold it until it happens.
Ah, I didn't know that. See, I was spamming it as well. I thought you had to.
No,
So you can just hold it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just hold it, and that's a lot easier.
Yeah, that's much better. Because sometimes I'd get up and I'd do that and get DI'd.
Yeah, that's because you're doing this, right?
Yeah.
The mashing strikes again.
So true.
You need to know that's definitely punishable as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Again, the corner is a rock paper scissors, but now you have a couple tools that you can use instead of the other things that you were doing. So that's already two things that you can do, right? Another thing that you can do is if you're getting people trying to bully you with lights, then in the middle of a light you can throw a parry, right? But just first block, and that'll happen. See?
Okay.
If I'm just pressing light, right? If I'm just doing stuff like this, then definitely, you know, that can happen, and that's a thing. You don't want to spend bars as much when you do, you know, a perfect parry. I can also, you know, you need to be aware because this is a thing also, right?
Yeah.
But you know, if you notice that your opponent is just trying to bully you with this stuff like this, especially standing, then you can probably, you know, get a couple parries in. You recover your drive gauge, and you know you can probably throw more EX moves to get out of the corner, right? Another thing that you know, I'm noticing that I don't know if you do it on a match, right? But right there, you should 100% just back throw. 100% just back throw. Don't worry too much about the damage unless you're gonna kill, right? Like if I'm at like 10% of life and you get a parry there, then by all means do your damage combo to kill, right? And if it's for to win the match. But putting people in the corner has to be your number one priority most of the time. Like, people in the corner are much easy to, you know, to control, right? So yeah, how do you get out of that situation, right? All right, let's try and play the corner for a little bit, and let's see what happens, right? All right, you're still in the corner, and you're still in the corner. All right, you got out. All right, again. And I get damage. Okay.
I can't double dash that, can I?
No. Akuma cheap. But I mean, I guess if I'm just expecting it, then I can just throw you back into the corner. All right, so how that is relatively fine. I could, you know, do a couple combos, and when we were playing, you weren't doing all of this stuff to get out of the corner.
Yeah.
Because I just shut you down in the corner. So how do you protect the corner? Show me how do you avoid me from getting out of the corner. I'm out of the corner.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh, come on. Don't do those.
But I guess that's a waste anyway, right? Unless it was going to kill from like a light.
You cannot see level 3s as you know, I'm just gonna use it to kill. You need to analyze the whole situation, the drive gauge situation. Like, if you're on your final drive gauge bar, by all means you have to do your level 3 to recover your bar. And if he has 1.5, then you can do your level 3 to burn him out.
Yeah.
There's more things to analyze other than just is it gonna kill or not, right? So talking about corner, I don't know, offense, I guess. I noticed that you go into the same pattern of you doing all the stuff in your mind to attack, right?
Yeah.
You don't really get a position in which you want your opponent, if you press crouching medium kick right there, which is probably your longest normal, then that will happen, right? A lot of the time that'll happen.
Yeah.
And then I can, do my own stuff or whatever, right? But what I'm trying to say is that to protect people from escaping the corner, if you stay under the timer and they jump forward, they will not escape the corner, right? They will stay right in front of you. And whatever thing that you do, it will put them back in relatively safe, right?
Ah, okay. That's a good frame of reference underneath the timer.
Yeah, there's characters in which you want to be like against Marisa, for example. You don't want to be in here because the Gladys will hit you. So you want to be like right about here. So her light Gladys will whiff. If she charges the heavy one, then you need to be like around here.
Yeah.
But if you want to avoid people from escaping the corner, you definitely want to be under the timer. So it's very, very important to keep this reference in here. And after in here, like particularly when you're against somebody, like if you're right there, you're blocking, then at one moment I'm gonna be like, okay, so what are you gonna do then? You're in the corner, so right. So if you try to escape by jumping, then I will just shut down your escape, right? So if I do nothing, when I do nothing, I'm trying to tell them that okay, you can try now, and then when you try, you're gonna make a mistake. You're probably gonna make a mistake, right? And I'm just gonna get my damage out, right? What you don't want to do, if you do stuff like this, if you walk to this area, or if you see somebody walking to this area, no, don't jump. If you see somebody walking here, this is like the cage is open, right? You want to walk forward, and you want to regain a little bit of space, right? There you go. You have more space. At least to play neutral, you can go back, because the problem in here is that you cannot go back. And there's also another problem, right? If you block low, so if you block this, you notice that you get pushed back, and I get a little bit pushed back, right? We get both pushed back. But in the corner, there's this thing that I get pushed back the double instead of you getting pushed back, and that kind of messes up. Yeah, that kind of messes up what people tend to know about, the ranges, right? So if I'm here, I'm way further away than if we weren't in the corner. So that's another thing, a difference when people's in the corner. Things, whoever is attacking gets pushed back way more unblocked, right?
Yeah.
That messes up people's head. Right? When trying to go for punish, they suddenly think, oh, I'm normally when I block standing heavy punch, I'm normally in a range where I can press crouching medium kick and it'll hit, right? But in the corner, then because of that pushback, then you won't be able to do this, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's very important for you to know how to close that cage, right? That in there is just I cannot do much, right? I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna take as little space as possible and then try to get my opportunity. But because I'm already used to being in the corner, then I'm kind of calm about it. It's annoying, but it's not as terrible as for other players. Like,
yeah,
that you see them waking up with this because they are scared to getting thrown or whatever. Right? All right. Anything else?
There were like the major things, but I think the stuff you've gone over is like really helpful.
All right, I have another exercise for you.
Yep.
This will help you a little bit about the neutral game, right? So I'm gonna start in the middle, and you're gonna start in at that range, and I'm gonna try and push you to the corner, right? Okay. So it's
Yep.
your job not to get him pushed. Jump is not allowed. Okay.
Yep.
Just neutral buttons. Okay. Oh, by all means, if you get a punish, you can execute your full combo, right?
Okay.
But as you can see, you're almost right there in the corner, right? Oh, whoops.
Ooh.
Come back. All right. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's not allowed.
It was actually an accident.
Okay. Okay, back. Alright, now put yourself into the middle. Alright, go. What?
I don't even know what happened there. I want a back rise. That was silly.
Corner.
Oh, that was good spacing. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay.
How did I even get that? Look at my inputs. How did I even get that DP? What? I was pressing back.
I don't know. I don't know. Alright, come here. Go to the middle. Alright, go. Oh wow, that's quick. That was quick. Oh, whoops. No. Okay. I'm in the corner. Oh, nice.
Oh,
Not that. Not the grab. But
Yeah.
you just did something like, I don't know, you did something like this, and then you
Oh,
go
sorry,
back,
go.
and then I blocked this, and then you went, instead of going forward, you went back and then forward. It was a good move, right? So I don't know why you think you're struggling in neutral. Like, if you do this against players, then you'll be more than fine, right? If you try,
Yeah.
if you constantly try to find the space, what we talked in the beginning, like if they block and you try to find the space in which they will, try to press something, and then you just, punish them for trying to. Like, if you do this, then by all means, you know that you have to block. I mean, you could possibly, try and fish for this, but
Yeah, that's true.
but
I guess that's not good practice for me though. I would definitely fluff that up and just get destroyed.
but yeah, now you have. I feel that you have more tools and you're doing pretty good in neutral, right? The real problem is that at your rank you're gonna see a lot of of this,
Yeah.
and then blah, right? You're gonna see a bunch of that, and in future lessons, it's all about more into matchup knowledge, when you can press, when you shouldn't press, what you can do, how you can effectively do DIs. It's not like, oh, we are here and then you just throw a DI. That's definitely not a good idea. But there are characters in which you can that you can DI. So if you see Akuma's, I don't think Akuma does it too much, but if you see people doing this into that, then by all means, after the Hadouken, you can DI, right? Oh, you cannot? Yeah, if I do the light, then if I do the heavy, I guess you can. Oh, this is a true block string, dude. I didn't know that. Oh,
I could have sworn people do it to me. Let me try. Yeah, definitely can. That was the light version.
Yeah, do the if you do the heavy. Oh, you can't. Oh, never mind. Then you were doing it wrong, I guess. You do it to me. How come? No, it's a true block string. I cannot do anything. Like, if I parry your first kick, then oh wait, hold on. The Hado. Yeah, see, if I release the parry, the second one is automatic.
That's fast. Let me do the slow. Okay, so slow isn't.
Yeah, see, if I let go of the parry and I get hit, then that means it's not a true block string. So I guess to frame trap people, you use the light, and to do the block string, you do the heavy. I guess, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, but that's beyond the point of what I wanted to point out. Is that some things that you can definitely DI and some others that you cannot DI. For example, I put this example the most because it's very easy. Like, when Ken does the medium punch, heavy punch target combo into Jinrai, if you DI the first Jinrai, then he will have to eat it. There's nothing he can do to do anything about that. He will eat the DI and you get a full combo.
Gotcha.
Do you have any question?
No, actually. I feel like I've taken quite a lot of notes down.
You can come back and see the video when I upload it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like a lot of stuff to go over. I've got a fair bit of notes here. I think for the next week or so, I'm just going to really practice accurate inputs. I think that's going to be a really big thing. The gameplay stuff can come as I think what I also do as well is that stuff with like DP, where I'm so eager to get it out, I sometimes just get like a crouching jab or a crouching medium.
Yeah.
I'm pressing it way too early, so I need to just get very precise on my my inputs would be a massive help.